Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Paige's Pages, and today I'm going to be sharing with you all of the books that I read in September. So this was a really light reading month for me because I had a lot going on this month. I am a 5th grade teacher, and so we started back in school, and it's also my first year teaching 5th grade, so teaching at all, this is my first year. So as you can guess, I kind of had a lot going on, so I didn't get as much reading done as I normally do, but I did read some, and I have 3 books to discuss with you today. I feel like this month, not only did I not read very many books, I just wasn't impressed with the books that I read. One book I loved, and then the other 2 books were just like meh. So let's talk about the book that I love. Let's start off on a positive note. So the first book I read this month, and I kicked off September reading this book, and it was awesome because I loved it so much. It was It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. Guys, this book was awesome. I gave it 5 stars. I am not going to go into the synopsis because I feel that this is one of those books where you need to go in totally blind, not knowing what it's about, because I went in that way and it impacted me so much more. The feelings and everything with just going in blind, and after you read it, you will know exactly why I'm saying this. This book was just beautiful. It was well written. I really liked some of the characters in here, and it had some great side characters that I would love to see get like a spin-off or like a novella or something like that. Loved some of the side characters in here. And the story, guys, the story and the message in this book was so powerful. So I definitely recommend you read this book. 5-star read for me. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about it because I don't want anyone to not have the same experience that I had while reading it, and the best way to do it is to just go in blind. The next book that I read started off on such a strong note. Like, it was really good, it sucked me in, and then it just got ugh. It just fell flat for me, and that was The Passengers by Lisa Lutz. I gave this 2 out of 5 stars. The 2 stars are kind of just for the beginning of this book. And because it's an intriguing premise. Like, so our main character, what was her name to begin with? I think Tanya. She goes by a lot of names. So she was Tanya to begin with at first, Tanya DuBois. And she wakes up and her husband is dead. And instead of calling the police, she packs her stuff, gets some cash she had stored away, and she runs. She goes on the run. And so the whole book, she is kind of on the run, and you are trying to find out what is she running from? What happened to where she's on the run? And that's great. That's like interesting. Like, I really wanted to know. And that's why I kept reading, because I really wanted to know, like, oh my God, what happened? Like, why is your life so crazy? But so I would say, like, this, like, literally the whole, like, this much of the book is just like her on the run, and it gets kind of like mundane after a while. You're like, oh, okay, new city, new name, oh great, oh she's gonna get another car, oh she's gonna use this burner cell phone, oh okay, yeah, got it, I get it. I get what it's like to be on the run now. Thanks, you can stop. Because it was just like, by the time I got to the end, I was like, okay, come on, what's gonna happen? Why are you on the run? Because you still had no clue. And then at the end, when you find out the big reason why she has been running for most of her adult life, you're just like, what? I read this whole thing for that. It was so underwhelming. Like, I was like, really? Like, really? I just thought it was really underwhelming. Like, that's really all I can say. Yeah. It says it's a sharp, clever, and utterly compelling thriller about a woman running from the mistakes and misfortunes of her past. Yeah. It wasn't sharp, clever, or utterly compelling. I just didn't really enjoy it that much. Sorry. And the last book that I read in the month of September was Vanishing Girls by Lauren Oliver. This book I gave a 1 star. 1 star, guys. There has to be a lot of problems in a book for me to give it 1 star. So this is a story about 2 girls. They're twins. They get in an accident and then they're just trying to cope with life after this accident that they got into, and then one of the sisters disappears, and so the other sister is trying to find out what happened to her. And literally, like, the plot you would think would be you're trying to figure out what happened to the sister, but she does not disappear into so far into this book. Like, I remember I was at like page 200 and I'm like, when is something gonna happen? Like, it was just so much like exposition and setting up the story, and it just was not interesting. It wasn't. And then the end, a lot like The Passengers, the book I read before this, it was so underwhelming, and I was like, that's all you got for me, Lauren Oliver? That's all you got? Like, I don't know. I was expecting a lot more from her. 1 star for the writing. The writing was very good. The writing was great, but it just lost 4 stars for being completely predictable and boring. It was boring. I think that if you have not read very many thrillers, and like you're new to the genre, this might interest you. And not because like you're naive or you don't know anything about thrillers, just because the twist in here has been done so many times in other books. I saw it coming, but if I hadn't read as many thrillers as I have, I wouldn't have had that in the back of my head. So I don't know, it wasn't that good, guys. And I don't know, read it, find out for yourself. I'd love to know if you've read it and if you loved it. A lot of people loved it. I just personally did not. Sorry. So those are the 3 books that I read this month. Hopefully in the month of October I can get a lot more reading done, and hopefully I have a little bit better luck with my books, because really this was the only book that I like loved, and these 2 books were just kind of like, I wish I would have read something else than these 2, but that's okay. Alright guys, until next time, happy reading!